What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. Also, you know I'm a Weeble preferred influencer. They still have one of their best promotions going, the one that we talked about last month a number of times. Actually did some investment-focused videos. You can go take advantage of that in the pinned comment as well. But we are here to talk about Kenyon Drake. Saying what needs to be said, and honestly, getting more of a response than most Madden tweets. Madden franchise mode is so neglected. Man, I miss the old days before MUT. Game had better integrity back then. Now it's all about money. I mean, I can't say any better than that, but I'm so glad that a professional NFL running back sat here and said it, because we've all known it to be true. These are the things that EA also knows, yet they continue to patronize, putting out packs for Easter this weekend, and making sure that they sell the same products over and over with simply a digital card replacing it. And they literally right now have other YouTubers going nuts opening these Easter packs. I mean, it is the definition of a racket in this community. I highly doubt that any of those MUT channels that make their living off opening packs, ripping packs, live streaming packs will take any time away from their streaming schedule to address the fact that this has been said by someone that has infinitely more football knowledge than anyone in this community, myself included. And that, to me, is also part of the problem. Because when things like this happen, they have to address the fact that the elephant in the room, being that this game is awful, is being not only covered by channels like mine, but also being covered by players that have been in the NFL, that are currently in the NFL, that have legacies in the NFL. And those are the voices that, even above my own, we need to be listening to. We need to be promoting. We need to be paying attention to. Because those are the ones that I think are going to truly inspire change within the community. See, EA can do all they want to quiet my channel. EA can do all they want to over-promote their game. What they can't do, though, is this. They're not going to find an NFL player that's going to sit there, other than Clint, of course. They're not going to find an NFL player that's going to sit here and tell you Madden franchise is incredible. The game has the most realistic gameplay. You don't even have to pay to enjoy this game in Ultimate Team. Just like the show, you can just play for a little bit and get decent cards. They're never going to have that. Yet I can think the last 3 years, we've had more and more and more players risking their jobs because they are speaking about an NFL branded product in a negative fashion. And we've seen what the NFL does when players do something against the shield. I know you guys think that's a joke, but if you don't think that players don't get pulled into rooms and sat down and said, you don't get to tweet about NFL branded or licensed experiences or products in a negative fashion, because that is, in part, a segment of your employer, then you're wrong. As I said earlier, would you openly tweet something negative about the company you work for today? Probably not. Because you don't want to have to deal with the ramifications if that tweet gets 10,000 likes. The other side of this is, if you were doing that, I would hope to a man that you are also doing everything you can actively within the organization to make sure that everything is being run as proper as possible, as efficient as possible, so that you can have pride not only in your job, but the way the job is handled. So that also further makes me believe that players like Kenyon Drake do go to the NFL and express concerns, or do go to their team, or have attempted to go to EA Sports. I do know a player that I will not say for confidentiality that has went to EA Sports and offered to help them with the game. And then for some reason, after 2 or 3 months, all of that communication ceased. I actually hoped that I would be able to bring that player on my channel and have an announcement that they were going to be hired by EA Sports. And that it might reinvigorate the community to a degree, knowing that we had people in the building outside of practice squad experience 10 years ago. And I'm not saying that as a knock on Clint. I'm saying that as a relevant player in the NFL that started in a recent perspective is going to be more apt to provide current information about a player's life than someone that did it in 2008. It's all there is to it. I mean, clearly Clint is struggling to program line logic. I don't know that I trust his ability to program outside of that. Closing this video out, a lot of you have approached me about Moonlight Swami apparently leaving or stepping down from EA. I blocked by him. I really don't know that to be true. I searched on Twitter. I didn't find a lot about it. His YouTube channel has been a wasteland for the last 2 years, 3 years since he's been at EA because he knows what we know. He can be a creator before he goes to EA, but once he's there and he has all the background information to make the game do as he wishes, for some reason now he's incapable of making that content, which is utterly ridiculous. You know, once he was there, he knew the coding, he knew the logic, he could make the scenarios play themselves out, he could create the most in-depth content with Madden than anyone. He had that knowledge, and he could not do it. You need to ask yourself why that is. Because you can make more money on YouTube than you can at EA Sports. Yet he sat there and refused to do it. Now, I won't be as ignorant as to sit here and say that it was laziness, but I will say that I believe it was more not being able to do it than anything. You can't make the game interesting. You can't make the game fun. You can't make the game something it's not. And it has been and will continue to be neglected, lacking integrity, and completely ignored, even when EA tells us it's not. Because we all know, just like Kenyon Drake does, EA Sports right now is about one thing: revenue. And the fastest way to get that revenue is to throw out a bunch of shiny mutt packs and let these little kids break out their parents' credit card and buy them after they watch streamers in our community sit there and rip packs they probably got comped. That's the reality of where we are. It's the reality of where we've been. And honestly, it's why we are where we are. But not a lot of people sit here and talk about it. But I know you listen to me, and I appreciate that. And you know, as long as EA Sports is going to continue to put digital Easter eggs, and I don't mean the good ones like we used to have when we were growing up, where you found something good. I mean a digital Easter egg with a player's card on it. I will always be able to be back whenever I want to be back with more commentary.